Hi, and welcome to SportsCanada.TV. I'm Paul Curenza here alongside Gord Smith, bringing you the KFace Classic, the 6th annual KFace Classic here at Southridge School in beautiful South Surrey. The opening game of the tournament featuring the home Southridge Storm taking on the visiting team from Kwantlen Park. And Gord, what do you expect to see here in the first matchup of the day?
You know, there's a lot of question marks about Kwantlen Park. I haven't seen them play this year, but home court, hopefully the Storm can get off to a good start, get those nerves out, and get the crowd behind them.
Well, the crowd's starting to file in along with the pep band and the usual pomp and circumstance that comes along with the feature games. Of course, the senior boys featured today and the senior girls featured at 12:30 tomorrow here. Both teams played in front of, if not the entire, a large portion of the student body. So how much does playing in front of this many kids affect the home team?
It could go either way. You know, if they have a bit of a slow start, they get maybe a bit anxious, but if they get a few hoops early and relax and get the crowd kind of involved, it can really, you know, put some pressure on the visitors.
Well, plenty of subplots here as the KFace tournament gets underway. First round matchup between Southridge and Kwantlen Park, but one of those subplots is this amazing guard matchup that we're about to see between the leading scorer for the Southridge Storm, Harrison Hughes, and the standout guard for Kwantlen Park, Isaiah Anderson, both considered two of the top guards in Surrey and perhaps even the province.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I think maybe it looks like a lot of perimeter shooting coming off strong from Isaiah Anderson, and we all know, you know, how pivotal Harrison is and what he can do off the dribble, so it's going to be a great matchup.
Well, Kwantlen Park, I'm sure, are going to want to weather an early storm here. The guys will be pretty pumped up to play in front of their school. They got quite a few more bodies. There's real depth here. Kwantlen Park, they're talking to Coach before the game, you and I were, and he says they're a little undermanned. A couple of kids not here for various reasons, and they're going to try to do what they can to try to withstand that first push from the Storm. And I think anything within single digits after one quarter is probably a win for this Kwantlen Park team.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it happened with, I think, our junior girls yesterday where they only had 6 or 7 players, and they played some really good basketball. Guys don't come off as much. They get into a rhythm, so you never know.
Well, we're about to get underway here, starting for the Storm. Amran Ajula, Matt Randall, Harrison Hughes, Armand Abraham, a.k.a. Abe, and Graham Block, who has also had a very strong year as a grade 11 for the Storm. Kwantlen Park will start number 3, Jagyot Parmar, number 12, Owen Wagner, Isaiah Anderson, as we mentioned before, number 1, Ariane Prasad, and number 13, Jason Huang. Southridge controls the tip. Hughes wants 3 early on, no good, comes up short. Ball sails away, saved by Randall, but right into the hands of Anderson, and he'll start the offense for Kwantlen Park.
That was a deep 3.
I mean, that's the crowd, right? There's a 3 ball the other way for Kwantlen Park. That one misses off the hands of Parmar, and back comes Southridge. Hughes again driving in, thought about going up, instead kicks it out, lost it. Turnover for the Storm, and this is the tightness we were talking about early on. Prasad's got it. He goes back to Anderson. 2-3 zone here for the Storm now as they come out, put a little bit of pressure. Back another jump shot, and it's good. So Kwantlen Park up 2-0. And again, it was Parmar knocking that one down. So just the start that Coach Helps and his squad wanted.
Yeah, that helps.
Hughes comes off the high screen from Abraham. Pull-up jumper. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound by Huang, and back come Kwantlen Park.
Yeah, you can see Southridge hasn't quite settled in.
Parmar again in the corner. He'll swing it back to Anderson. Now around to Prasad. Anderson at the top. Thought about a deep 3. Now takes it. That one's short. Goes out of bounds, and he'll hear it a bit from this Southridge crowd. All of the brass here in attendance for Southridge, including the instruments. Hughes again starts on the left side, swings it back to Aujala. Back to Hughes. Randall in the high post, skipped to Aujala, into Randall. Thought about it, a little high-low. It goes off of the hands of Block. Back to Abraham. 13 on the shot clock. Harrison now tries another 3. Got it. Better ball movement that time by the Storm.
Yeah, a lot of good patience there.
Back they come again. Anderson runs the show again. Swings it out to Parmar. Thought about a 3. Instead, gets the pass tipped into the high post for Huang. Parmar drives again, puts his left hand, swings it back. Tough fadeaway, got it. 2 tough buckets. He's 2 for 3 early on and has the hot hand for Kwantlen Park.
That's a nice play.
Randall now thought about a high post instead. Outlaw back to Hughes. Into the corner. Here's Abraham. He wants 3. Hits well short and rebound by Kwantlen Park, and it's Prasad. Pushes it up back to Anderson. Anderson again back to Prasad on the wing. Entry doesn't go. That one looking for a Wiegner, but it's tipped away and turned over to the Storm.
One of the first times they've tried to get into the post.
Aujala now, high post entry for Abraham. Takes a dribble, lost the handle, and he's called for traveling as he just got knocked off that line. So a little bit of indecision that time from Abe, but
always feel like him to be more aggressive and follow through once he gets in there.
Henderson again comes up in the middle of the zone, back to Parmar. Turns a nice steal by Hughes, who read it perfectly, goes all the way in. Layup is no good, and this is exactly what we talked about. These are the nerves of playing in front of what is a packed set of bleachers here in Southridge. Another 3 on the way, doesn't go, and rebound goes back, and again it's Prasad back to Anderson. Now he thought about a 3, swings it back to Prasad. Back to Anderson. He'll try the 3. That one no good, but put back. Left hand, count it, and 1. Jason Huang on the offensive rebound, and a little bit of spectating that time from the Storm as they got caught watching.
Yeah. You know, watching Kwantlen move the ball around at the top, those 2 guys, very nonchalant almost, just.
Well, yeah, you saw Hughes steal the 1 pass from Parmar as he's starting to get an idea of the cadence of how they're moving the ball. Another offensive rebound, another jumper is good for Parmar. He has 7 early points.
It's like Jaden Sangi getting ready to come in.
Hughes another 3, got it, he's keeping him in it. So back-to-back 3s there for Hughes in his last 2 shot attempts. Storm back within 2, 6.5 to play in the first. Parmar again. Waits for the action. Anderson up high, swings it around to Prasad. Back to Anderson. He shot fake. Prasad tries the baseline, runs into trouble. Good defense by Aujala. Now Randall comes over and makes the steal, and he's got numbers. Gives it up. Bounce pass for Hughes all the way in. Count it.
Nice play. Nice play.
A beautiful, beautiful fill of the lane there for Harrison Hughes, and he finishes the bucket. We're tied at 8. So this 2-3 zone getting a little bit more aggressive here against Kwantlen Park as they move the ball, as you'd mentioned, little laissez-faire deep 3 from Anderson, no good. Boy, that was from Crescent Beach.
Actually, Crescent Beach is west.
I don't know. Abraham's jumper is good.
Cloverdale.
There you go. 10-8, Storm regaining the lead here. Quick 7-0 run by the Storm. High post entry not there. Now it is there. Bounced around. Randall almost got the steal. And now finally fouled, and it's Abraham committing it as Owen Wiegner got bumped on the perimeter. That's the team's 2nd foul.
Are you seeing any, kind of early offensive plan by Kwantlen Park? Or does it look like?
Well, they seem to be pretty perimeter-oriented. They're moving the ball on the perimeter, waiting for an open look, and they certainly aren't shy to shoot it. As another 3 goes up. This one off the back rim, no good. So they do have a couple of big bodies in Wiegner and Huang, but they haven't really touched the ball that much, except on the offensive rebound. Swung around Hughes again, another 3, same spot. No, that one just too strong. And the rebound from Anderson, he pushes the tempo the other way. Gathering speed against Muncie Buckley, goes up, no good. Muncie Buckley forced the missed shot, and they come back the other way. Brant Muncie Buckley picks it up, swings it over to Hughes. Dangerous pass, but got through. Hughes has got it again. Now Muncie Buckley thought about a 3, instead swings it back to Hughes. He works over to Aujala. He takes a 3, got it. Amran Aujala. And that's what he does. When he gets going, he's one of the streakiest shooters on this team. But when he catches fire, he is as automatic as they come, and that's a good sign for Coach Anderson that he knocks down his first. Anderson again swings it around. Parmar, he takes another 3. He's had the hot hand. That one off the side rim. Aujala rebound.
Yeah,
deep ball right into the hands of Hughes. A beautiful full court pass from Amran Aujala, and Hughes has another bucket. Storm starting to take control here, 15-8. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Helps thinks about a timeout here. Parmar, high post entry, Huang Gives it back to Parmar. Drives. Little pull up on the baseline. Got it.
Beautiful.
Silences the crowd. And it's Coach Anderson now who will take the timeout for the Storm. Decent pace here in the early going. First 7 minutes into this game, 15-10 Storm. What have you seen so far?
Well, obviously number 3 for Kwantlen Park is their early weapon. You know, wondering what in that zone can Southridge do to, you know, minimize his impact.
Well, they certainly have heard about Isaiah Anderson, and you can tell there's a real emphasis on him at the top there, but it has freed up Parmar and Prasad on the 2 wings. And as you mentioned, Parmar has had the hot hand. I believe he has 12 of the 15 Kwantlen Park points.
Do you expect any adjustment from Southridge in terms of how they're going to set up defensively?
Anderson is a real zone believer in the 2-3 zone. So far, I think you're seeing them start to cheat some of these reverse passes. So if anything, I think we might see the 2 guards and maybe even the back row, the Aujalas and the Abrahams, get a little more aggressive on the skips and see if these 2 big bodies, Wiegner and Huang, see if they can hurt them if they end up getting the ball on the pressure release. But
are you thinking that, you know, Harrison likes shooting from that spot? I feel like, is that where he is in the offense, or is that?
When you make your first 2 from there, you're going to want to stay comfortable, right? I mean, Harrison has shown he can score from everywhere. Ball back now, swings it back around. It's Alex Wang, Graham block, he can shoot that. That one's just short. Rebound, Muncie Buckley battles, throws it into Sangi, swings it back out to Hughes. Thought about the 3, shoveled his feet, and that'll be a turnover for the Storm. Graham Block is their big, he's their 5, but he does have 3-point range. He spent a lot of time in the summer working on that shot. He's been able to really extend some defenses by stepping out and hitting that corner 3. And you talked about it now, Southridge extends to a 1-2-2 full court. Pass just out of the reach and goes out of bounds, turnover. So this is the pressing lineup that I know Coach Anderson likes to press with Alex Wang in there. He's one of the top defensive players that you'll see on this team. He really disrupts other teams with his speed and his work ethic.
Yeah, he's really been a spark plug.
Yeah. For a guy who didn't even start playing until grade 10, he's been a huge addition to this team. Alex Wang drives to the free throw line, run out of room. He's in trouble here, trapped. Rolls it to Sangi. 13 on the shot clock, back to Hughes. Sloppy possession here for the Storm. And a beautiful move from Harrison Hughes as he goes between the legs on the behind the back, the old Jason Williams back between the legs for the bucket. That was a beautiful bucket in that one. That got the crowd going.
You just need some tattoos.
He is a special player, Harrison Hughes. And, of course, fans of the Southridge Storm remember his older brother, Hunter Hughes, who was instrumental in the team's AAA championship in 2016. But what's really interesting about the 2 of them is how different they are. One a 5, one a point guard. Muncie Buckley all the way in, attacks the bucket. Coach Anderson wanted a foul on that, but Muncie Buckley using his athleticism, another guy who is the poster boy for why you play lots of sports.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Ball swung around Parmar. He's got it in the corner. Anderson puts pressure on him. Back around Anderson. Get better look for him this time, and he gets it.
Shot.
So a little more patience there from Kwantlen Park, as Anderson seemed like he was forcing the issue a little early. This time, lets the offense come to him, and he knocks down the 3. 6-point game. 2 minutes to go in the first. Muncie Buckley's 3. Got it.
Wow. No doubt. No hesitation.
Yeah. Well, this Southridge team does have a plethora of 3-point shooters as Anderson splits the double. Now he gets in, kicks Parmar. Very good look from the corner. No good. Rebound Sangi, and he starts to break the other way for the Storm. Southridge lucky not to give something up there when Anderson split the trap. Hughes has got it again, drives the elbow, kicks it, block, mid-range, got it. Storm on fire now as they hit their last 4 from the perimeter. Anderson again now brings up the offense. Wang now putting a little bit of pressure. It's swung around. This is Hannibal Rita and a deep 3 this time. No good. Hannibal Rita, number 11, in for Kwantlen Park. As Anderson tries it again, Muncie Buckley now. He swings it back and he'll wait for help.
You know, coming off the bench. Sorry, Paul. Coming off the bench, Muncie Buckley's really, you know, I think 5 points, a couple steals, rebounds.
That ball tapped away there by Rita in the game and right to the hands of Anderson for the easy layup. So Anderson won't like that. Hughes thought about going through the double again. This time swings it to Wang. His three doesn't go. Sangi rips the rebound, goes right back up. No good, but he is fouled and will go to the line and shoot 2. Yeah, you had mentioned the bench scoring. There's quite a few guys on this Southridge team that have all started at one point and come off the bench at one point. I mean, with the exception of Hughes, it's been pretty much a revolving door in this starting lineup, and they've all been able to contribute at various times. First free throw for Sangi is no good for the Southridge head boy.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, fans of Southridge will also know the Sangi family as the creators of the very profitable Relay for Life.
Another great charity.
Yeah, raised more than $100,000 in the past 2 years for cancer research. 3 on the way from Prita. That one missed by quite a bit. Looks at his hands. They're okay. He's going to get back and play a little D.
Shot clock for the last shot here.
Yeah, so they'll hold this one. Randall's got it up top, and he'll probably run this down to 10 before they start to initiate. Wang has got it now. Rejects the screen from Sangi. Drives, loses it out of bounds, but it stays Storm ball with 12.8 to go. Big possession here as it's still a single-digit lead. They're up 9. They would love to get it to 11 or even 12. Just mentally, it's a big difference. Kicked out to Wang. Wang's got it up top. 10 seconds now. Anderson putting a little more pressure on Wang. High screen from Sangi. It's kicked around to Randall. Randall drives right. Fakes. Little jumper. No good. Short. Tapped around, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Anderson hauls one deep at the end of one. Southridge Storm took a while to get going, but they caught fire in the second half of that quarter. They lead Kwantlen Park 24-15. Thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, it stands out, and you mentioned this point is I think Southridge has done it with 9 different players. Whereas look at Kwantlen Park, there's 2 or 3 guys.
Yep.
You wonder about fatigue. If they're hot or cold, that's going to determine the game. And the second thing, I mean, is those multiple sport athletes. It might be a longer conversation, but I know, you know, Alex Wang, top-end baseball player.
Yeah.
You know, what does he carry forward, you know, into basketball?
Yeah, and you had mentioned Muncie Buckley, and he made an immediate impact off the bench on both ends of the floor. High-end soccer player.
You know, I remember you just referenced Hunter Hughes and being part of that AAA championship. I remember Coach Anderson talking about how much a factor Landongill was coming off the bench and just giving them that athleticism.
Well, if you can hear in the background, the Southridge Pep Band, always a familiar sight at the KFace Classic, led by band teacher Steve Burge, of course, in the senior band. KFace Classic, Day 1, Game 1, Southridge versus Kwantlen Park. KFace, Kenya Foundation to aid children through education. Great cause here. Southridge runs this tournament every year. And we're underway in the second. Anderson now, he's taking it on the wing, not at the top, swings back around to Prasad. High post entry, gets it right back. Thought about the 3. Anderson now from the corner. Got it. He hits the 3. So here's an adjustment. Here's an adjustment made by Kwantlen Park as they've moved Isaiah Anderson to the wing.
I thought Southridge was me making a sub during the game.
Kwantlen Park back the other way, trailing by 6 now. Good big possession for them. Anderson swings it back. Prasad wants it, or Anderson wants it in the corner. Gets it, thought about a 3, swings it back. Rita almost lost it. Anderson has it again, 10 on the shot clock now. Swings it to Prasad. He had Parmar in the corner, but missed him. Rita now. Bounce pass entry to Hong. Back to Prasad, the 3, no good, way off as Kwantlen Park never really did get in sync on that possession. Muncie Buckley kicks it to Arjun Dhaliwal, off his hands, out of bounds, and another turnover here for the Storm.
No one in rebounding there for Kwantlen Park on that shot.
Well, they seem very one and done in terms of get something from the perimeter and then get back on D into their zone. Anderson, that's a very deep 3, no good. Rebound by Muncie Buckley, and back comes the Storm. Kicks it back out to Randall. Randall to Wang. Wang drives middle, back to Randall, swings it to Muncie Buckley. Waiting for Sangi. Now it's Randall's turn to shoot a 3. That one no good. Rebound controlled by Kwantlen Park. And into the hands of Prasad. Swings it to Anderson now. Anderson drives middle, runs out of room, kicks it around to Prita. He thought about a 3 instead. Gives it back to Anderson. Corner for Parmar. drives the baseline, up with one hand, no good, as it was partially blocked, I think, by Muncie Buckley, and back comes Dollywall.
Parmar's gone quiet.
Speed. Well, he hasn't had a lot of touches. Ball reversed around Muncie Buckley. He gets a good look at a three. That one no good, but right in the hands of Dollywall. He drives middle. Ball knocked away, but he is fouled, and ball will stay with the Storm. 6-point lead here. Probably not as big as Coach Anderson would like, considering how well they've shot the ball, but this Kwantlen Park team just kind of hangs around.
It feels like it's a bit. It feels like it should be a bigger lead.
Yeah.
If you didn't know the score, you'd feel like it'd be 10 or 12.
Anderson has had a couple of deep threes here to keep the minute lob to block. Up strong. Probably got hit on that, but finishes. Beautiful catch. And another guy who has really, really put on some real muscle between last year and this year and become a real force in the senior level. One of the many kids will be back next year for Coach Anderson. There's a three on the way from Prasad. That one is good, and this is essentially how they're hanging around. The lead down to 5. Wang on the wing now. It's blocked now. Ducks in. Little jump. Kicks it back out to Wang. Thought about skipping it. Now does get it to Randall. Swings it to Muncie Buckley. He tries the middle. Runner. No good. Too strong. Block cleans it up, though, and that one is partially blocked, and he will go to the line. I think it was Parmar that got him. Graham Block will go to the line and shoot 2. Number 6 for Kwantlen Park. Liego checking into the game. He replaces Prasad. Armand Abraham back in for the Storm, replacing Muncie Buckley. First free throw well short for Block, and quite demonstrative on the free throw line after the miss. He's invited to my poker table anytime he wants. Second free throw is good. Prida now, he'll start and then gives it to Anderson. Anderson working against the 1-2-2, correcting traffic, lobs it over for Liego. There's the skip. Prida intercepted. I think it was intended for Parmar, but now Anderson's got it. He's working against Randall. To Prida, nobody in the corner. Now high post for Luong. Back to Anderson. Tries the middle. Gets the free throw line. Little fake, little roller. No good. Very nonchalant around the bucket.
Thought that was Kevin Bieksa.
Ooh, and now a sidestep. Harden's type 3 that misses by a lot.
What do we have here?
Foul off the ball there, called against Kwantlen Park. Wang and Dollywall out. Aujala and Hughes back in. So leading by 6. This has been a strong lineup for the Storm, and Anderson quickly goes back to Aujala and Hughes. Randall now fakes it back to Hughes. Hughes to Randall up top. Thought about going into block, instead swings it to Aujala. He'll try the middle now, runs out of room. Abraham, nice high post entry for Randall. He kicks it to Hughes. Hughes has a very good look, doesn't take it, puts it on the deck. Now he's trapped in the corner, kicks it out to Randall with 8 on the shot clock. Puts it on the deck now. Back cut, beautiful back cut from Hughes, and he's rejected by Huang, but fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Has nice poise from Matt Randall with the clock winding down. Didn't force something up. And nice cut by Hughes to get behind the defense. That brings Wiegner back in, and Huang will sit down with his second foul.
You know, Matt's just a real consistent, calming leader out there.
First free throw good for Harrison Hughes, the grade 11 point guard.
He had 20 points, I think, the other 1 or 2 games ago. It's unusual for him.
Second free throw no good. Prida with the rebound, and he'll start the offense. Again, Southridge showing 1-2-2. Randall put a bit of pressure. Anderson now into the trap, tries to split it, runs out of room. Aujala gets the steal, leads it out to Hughes, and he just can't get the handle on another opportunity for transition, but just a little too strong, but they get it right back off the press. Aujala now. He'll start the offense for Southridge. Swings it to Hughes on the wing. Randall in the high post. He's waiting for Abraham. Now goes to Randall. Corner 3. No good. Short. Nice block out that time from Liego in Kwantlen Park. Still just within 7. A chance here to cut that lead to 5 or even 4 with a 3. Prida, he takes the 3. Got it. First one missed by quite a bit, but the second one was right down the pipe, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. Well, this is exactly the recipe for Coach Helps. Hang around, take the crowd out of it a bit. It's pretty quiet considering it's a full gym.
Here.
and continue to make timely threes to stay in this game. Anderson now tries the baseline, runs out of room. Good defense from Abraham. Throws a long skip. Harrison meets it. Parmar back to Anderson. Can't get the pass. It goes out of bounds, and Storm will get it back. So Coach Helps will take a timeout. I wonder if he sees a little fatigue on his squad or if he saw something he wants to try to exploit. Either way, Kwantlen Park in this game, trailing by just 4 in the first round of the KFace Invitational at beautiful Southridge School in South Surrey, BC. Of course, Sports Canada BC, your leader for amateur sport. If it's going on in Canada or the world and it's amateur sport, you can probably find it on SCTV.
Do you think that's a recipe then for Southridge? To keep pressing at the top of the zone?
I think with the limited number of subs this Kwantlen Park team has, and even less ball handlers it seems they have, I think they're trying to really invest and tire the Andersons and the Diegos and the Pritas and the Parmars out, so that in the fourth quarter, when they're a little more fresh and these guys are sucking wind, some of these deep threes probably won't fall. But, you know, I mean, you've seen it a million times. You've coached enough sports. The underdog, the longer they hang around, the looser they get. And the longer they hang around, sometimes the tighter the favorite gets. And especially playing, again, in front of your student body, we can't overstate that enough. How different an environment it is for these boys to be playing in front of all of their friends and family at this school. So,
and it affects them all differently.
Yeah. How's the high post entry to Randall. Hughes gets it back. Thought about putting on the deck, goes back to Randall. Auslan to the high post now. Abraham has it, swings it around. Hughes, he gets a good look. Again, thought about a three. Seems a little gun shy here. Abraham, he'll take the jumper. No good, missed by quite a bit, and back comes Anderson. He goes up the right side. Takes the screen from Wiegner. Gets into him in the high post, turns, jumper, no good, short. And that's the first shot from that spot that I think Kwantlen Park has taken. So I wonder if that was what the timeout was about. Harrison now swings it out. Auersla, good look at a three. No good, short, little flat on that one. Tapped around, rebound by Anderson, and he starts to break the other way for Kwantlen Park. Working against Hughes. That's the matchup people were waiting for. Gets it back. Hughes at the top of the zone. Anderson now with a interesting fake pass. Now puts it on the deck, swings it back around. Preda, his three, no good. Back rim, block, secures the rebound, and throws the outlet to Randall.
It's like Southridge just lost a little bit of flow last few possessions.
Drives the lane, runs into trouble, and I'm not sure what, no signal yet. And they are calling it on Kwantlen Park, so non-shooting foul. Oh no, they are going to say it's a shooting foul. That's an interesting call. I thought that Randall ended up passing that ball, but
same.
You know, anybody who's seen Virginia play in the NCAA this year, they remind me a lot actually of this Kwantlen Park team in what they do offensively, in that they just don't do anything quickly. And so teams like Southridge that want to push tempo and want to run, they find themselves almost bored into a sense of playing a much slower game. And I think this tempo and this scoreline with 4 minutes left, just 30-24, this favors Kwantlen Park. Three ball, no good. Rebound, tapped around, and nice job from Auersla. Tries the right side, goes all the way in. No good, short on the layup. I thought he made the right decision to take it, but just crocodiled it. But then Hughes gets it back. He can't hit. And the Storm have gone a little cold here in the second. Anderson now working against Hughes. Swings it to Prasad. Wiegner gets it back. Anderson now tries right hand, kicks it in the corner. That is Prasad dribbling it back out, 50 on the shot clock. Really working the clock here. Very patient right now, this Kwantlen Park team. Prasad comes around. It's Prida back to Prasad. His corner three, partially tipped, I think, is bounced around and off the infamous Southridge wire for a turnover. I think it was 2014 that wire won Best Defensive Player in Surrey, costing visiting teams hundreds of points that year. Hughes now comes off the high screen, swings around. Auersla thought about a three, drives, kicks it. Abraham tries the baseline, lost it, and that goes out of bounds back to Kwantlen Park. You had mentioned that Muncie Bucky in the game, he replaces Abraham, and you had mentioned that Abraham was looking a little bit tentative, and you'd like to see him go, and that's a perfect example of maybe not taking the first shot, which might have been the better shot.
Right.
Good job from Hughes. Gets the turnover against Anderson. Drives all the way in. Goes up. Gets contact. No call. But Auersler, he can't put the rebound. He gets another rebound. That time he's fouled. And I believe that's going to be Wigner's third. So 2 missed layups might end up being a blessing in disguise, as I think the Kwantlen Park big man might have just picked up his third, and see if they go to the bench here and bring number 13, Jason Huang, back in.
Yeah, they're well into the bonus.
Pardon me, that's the second on Wigner, so he'll probably stay in. Fouls are 6-0, I believe, in this quarter. Coach helps, though. He's been around, coached a lot of teams. Not working the officials at all. Well, it feels like it's been 30-24 since before the internet, Court. Second free throw, trying to change that score is good, so the floodgates maybe will open here with 2:36 as Southridge on a 1-0 run over the last 6 minutes. Ball kicked to the corner, Prida, and of course swings it back out to Wigner. Oh, high-low, beautifully executed. You know, I think that has been there too. That was Liego. That's been there since the beginning. They just haven't seemed at all interested in it. So,
and if you're having trouble again picking up this broadcast, you can switch browsers to Netscape Navigator.
I don't know what that is. Hughes hits a three. Hughes hits a three, and timeout Kwantlen Park. So 4-2 run over the last little bit here as Harrison, I think that three was big for the Storm. They hadn't scored. They hadn't hit a field goal in a while. And to see the ball go through the hoop and for Harrison to hit another, I believe he's 3 for 5 or 3 for 6 at this point. So maybe he continues to exploit what's been a pretty soft, packed-in Kwantlen Park defense.
Yeah, again, you look up at the score and you think about the possessions and the shots that Southridge has had. And 8 points just, you're right, it's just keeping Kwantlen Park in it. It's a couple threes away from really putting the pressure on.
Again, stay with us tomorrow. We will have both the boys and the girls games back-to-back. The senior girls facing off against last year's KFace champs, the Sullivan Heights Stars. That's at 12:30, and then right after, the winner of this game will play the winner of the next game. Could be your Southridge Storm, could be this Kwantlen Park team. They're certainly putting up a fight here in the early going. That is at 2:15 p.m., all here on SportsCanada.TV, and then again on Saturday night, the 2 final games, the girls at 5:45 and the boys final at 7:30 here on Sports Canada. So make sure you tune in for that.
It's Alex Wang back in.
Anderson now swings it around to Prida. Prida, there's the high-low. Looks for that Liego down low. Instead takes himself, goes up strong and blocked by Block, and that got the crowd going. Graham, the aptly named Graham Block, with the rejection. Wigner now thought about three, now takes it, got it, the big man from the corner, and Muncie Buckley just looks at Coach Anderson and shrugs his shoulders like that wasn't in the scouting report.
Where did that come from?
Wang now swings it around. Hughes now, he thought about a three, instead brings it back around to Wang. Drives, bounce pass. Muncie Buckley on the baseline, he's got Block inside, instead back to Wang. Muncie Buckley now goes into Block. High pass, gets it back to Muncie Buckley, 9 on the shot clock. Here's Wang, tries the right side, pull-up jumper. No good, just strong, and that's Alex's shot, but no good. When you talk about the corner three there from Wigner, this is what we talked about hanging around in this game and how much, everything, you're almost playing with house money now. Liego now thought about the baseline. Oh, nice bounce pass through to Wigner, but couldn't handle it. Instead turns it over, and back comes Hughes. 1 on 5, goes up. Right hand, no good, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Is that a soft spot in that 2-3 zone? If Kwantlen Park gets it into the post, is that sort of a way you can cut it open a little bit?
Well, I think we'd mentioned what you said before about the perimeter players for Southridge taking a few chances, and when that happens, you exploit that bottom row. And I mean, in Southridge's defense, they haven't even looked at that cut in a quarter and a half. So all of a sudden now, they're seeing it, and we'll see if Coach Anderson and the Storm adjust to that, maybe play it a little more safe. But they certainly have slowed down Anderson. We haven't seen a ton from him. He made a few shots, but That's the high-low Liego now. He thought about a three, puts on the ground. Back to Wigner, back to Liego. Now shoots this one, and that one's short. Bounces around, block has it. 7-second differential. See if the Storm go 2 for 1 here. Pass to Wang. Tries baseline, kicks it. Muncie Buckley for 3. Got it. Rolls around and gets it in. Big shot. Lead is back up to 9. That's what it was to start this quarter, and that's what it is here with the final shot. So Kwantlen Park looking to win this quarter and cut that lead to 7 or less here in the last shot. Prasad, Wigner, jump shot, no good, well short. Maybe left a little too much time there. It's blocked with 6 seconds. Randall's got it 4. He's going to try one from deep. Drives the runner, no good off the back rim. And that'll do it for the first half. Your score, Southridge 38, Kwantlen Park 29. We'll be back with you here on SportsCanada.TV in just a few moments. Hi, welcome back to SportsCanada.TV. I'm Paul Curenza here alongside Gord Smith, bringing you first round action from the KFace Classic in South Surrey, British Columbia. The host, Southridge Storm, leading the visiting Kwantlen Park, 38-29, and it's been an interesting game. As you had mentioned previous, Gord, Southridge looks like they're in control, but the score suggests otherwise, doesn't it?
Yeah, but every time that gets to 5 or 6, someone steps up on Southridge and now it's 8 or 9 or 10. And so there's that little buffer that keeps them, I think, probably more comfortable. If you get it down to 3 or 4 points, which it hasn't been, now you're going to start to see, some challenges for Southridge.
Well, Isaiah Anderson, the highly touted guard from Kwantlen Park, he's been the engine that's had this ship go. He hasn't been extremely effective from the perimeter, but he certainly has been effective enough to keep them in this game, and he's made some shots for some other people, hasn't he?
Definitely. Parmar is someone that stood out early, then he went quiet. Number 1, I'm just double checking here, Prasad, hit a couple clutch ones, so we'll see who they come back with here.
For the Storm, it has been a steady diet of different contributors, but Harrison Hughes stands out as kind of the catalyst for the Storm offense, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's, when they need something, he delivers.
Aujala back to Hughes, swings it to Abraham. Back to Hughes up top, mishandles it, gets it back, and he'll run off, picks it up, and bounce pass. I think got the wires crossed a bit there with Randall, but it falls to Abraham. 12 on the shot clock, back into Randall. Thought about going up against Wegener, swung it around. 3 on the way from Hughes, no good, comes up short. Rebound, nice pass inside to Abraham. He goes up and is fouled by Harjot Tung. I don't even know if Tung got in the first half, but he's starting here in the second half.
Yeah, he got tongue-tied.
Abraham's first free throw is good.
Just another nice play from Matt Randall.
Yeah, the offensive
up in the air, looking to shoot, the whole time looking to dish.
And for the first time today, the lead for the Storm is double figures. Second free throw, no good. 39-29, low-scoring affair. This Kwantlen Park team has kind of slowed this pace to where they want it. Pass Parmar now. He thought about 3 instead, inside to Wegener. Bounce off the window, no good, but he is fouled. And a rare Storm whistle as the first foul since the first quarter called against Southridge.
Yeah, and Wegener's been someone that end of the second quarter and early here that Kwantlen Park seem to have targeted now, and it's been successful.
Into the game, making his first appearance for the Storm is Ethan Eichhorst again, and we'd mentioned Landon Gill last year. In a lot of ways, or 2 years ago, in a lot of ways, Ethan Eichhorst is a similar sort of sport transfer and a high-level soccer player that a culture of basketball here at Southridge that he's fallen into, and he's been, I know Coach Anderson's been very happy with what he has contributed to this team as in a lesser role. His attitude, his effort when he's in games, and just how to be on a team. Hughes gets the ball, bounce past the block. Nice job, spins, kicks it back to Hughes. 3 on the way, no good, just a little too strong. Capped around, and it's kept alive by Aujala. Randall now at the top, swings it to Hughes. Hughes tries the middle, bounce pass, gets to Aujala. Swung around to Eichhorst, high-low, beautiful pass into the high post, but Randall a little off trying to find block. Now he tries the baseline, bounce pass, block, he can't handle it, goes to Hughes, drives the middle, bounce pass, and Randall with the easy layup.
Lovely stuff. Those guys have a special bond. They both stayed down and played junior last year for most of the year and really feed off each other.
Anderson swings it around to Parmar. Thought about a shot, gets Aujala in the air. But then his pass for Tung, I don't think Tung was expecting. I think he thought he was going to shoot it. Aujala drives all the way in with the right hand, gets bumped, and that'll be on the pass.
You talk about a player like Ethan going in and everyone trying to figure out their role, how they are valuable to the team.
And one thing about Coach Anderson, if he puts you into this game, block doesn't get it, you earned these minutes. There's no charity here. So what Ethan's been doing in games and what he's been doing in practice has earned him the right to be here in this game. Ball swung for Parmar. Catch, baseline jumper. Got it.
He
well,
got
that
it.
looked good as soon as he let it go. Lead back to 10 as Parmar starts the second half much in the way he started the first half with a baseline jumper.
It's got an interesting spin on the ball.
Aujala for three the other way, short. Rebound controlled by Wigner, and then Anderson now with Hughes on his trail, looks back and slows it down again. This Kwantlen Park team extremely patient. There's the skip for Parmar. Shot fake. Brings it back to Anderson.
You just feel like Anderson's neutralized. You know, he's just...
Parmar now, he takes a deep three. No good, too strong. Rebound, Eichhorst, and back comes Randall. Nice pass for Block through the middle. Off 2 feet, strong finish in the lane for Graham Block.
Nice layup.
But he didn't have that a couple of years ago, that strong two-footed finish in traffic. You get bumped off that line, but man, that was a pro-level finish.
And you could see there, he caught the ball and he looked behind him just to see if he was going to get fouled, you know, what he needed to do with his body.
Ball skipped to Hughes now in the corner. 12-point lead, he drives, kicks, Aujala. Back to Randall. Randall, good look at a three. No good. Eichhorst tapping it around, but it's kept alive and rebounded by Wigner. He's got probably double-figure rebounding for Owen Wigner. Takes the high post entry, kicks it to the corner. Prasad's three, no good, just strong. Tapped around and kept alive. Back to Anderson. Working against Randall. Parmar's three, that one too strong. Good block out there by Aujala, and his rebound, he starts to break the other way. Comes to the right-hand side, 1-on-3, slows down, gets it to Randall. At the top, he'll run the offense for the Storm. Trailing by a dozen. Block, drops, hard step, up strong, no good.
No foul.
Anderson wanted a foul, but no call. And I wonder how much of this is the residual from the 7-0 foul count in quarter number 2. Anderson to Wigner. Squares, turns, shoots. No good, too strong. Rebound, Parmar gets it. He can't go.
Those are shots, I mean, at this stage of the game, they have to have those putbacks.
Randall now thought about a three, instead drives. Brings it back to the left, drives in, puts it up. No good. Rebound for Eichhorst. He thinks about going up, but little too deep. Like a Robert Frost poem, he was too deep. High post, Wigner again. This time goes up strong with the right hand and powers it in over Block and Eichhorst. Lead back to 10. The pesky Kwantlen Park team won't go away. 5.5 to play here in the third. Hughes, three. Got it. Boy, that was a no-doubter.
And now it's 13. You got to feel like, you know, for Southridge, it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games, and getting if they can get a bit of a cushion today, get some rest.
Long skip. Parmar swings it around. Prasad, he tries to answer the three. That one no good. Rebound Eichhorst, his 4th rebound since coming into this game. And Randall starts back the other way. Swings it to Aujala. Good look at a three. Steps into it. No good. Just too strong. He liked it when he let it go, but just too strong. Prasad back the other way. Pardon me, Anderson the other way.
And again, we see, I think he's going to drive, penetrate, do something special, and just can't quite get around the corner.
Anderson, deep three. No good. Short. Rebound, Randall. Kicks it out to Hughes. Releasing up strong. Got it. 5 straight for Hughes. And it's now up to 15, so this is the run that Southridge has been waiting for. Wigner drives up strong, right hand, no good, but he is fouled. I think it'll be Eichhorst. Either Eichhorst or Block got him.
And a bit of a line change coming up here for Kwantlen Park. Is that score related?
Well, you know, you mentioned the miss by Parmar as one they had to have, and that could have been a tired legs miss. And so he might just be hoping that he can weather the storm with this group and then put Anderson, Prasad and Parmar back in to make one last run here. Wigner hits his first free throw. Trong waiting to check into the game for him.
You see Coach Helps having some strong words with Prasad, and you wonder if it was jacking up that early three in their possession from well beyond.
Free throw doesn't go. Alex Wang with the rebound, and he is fouled by Anderson. Bit of a touch foul, but
Wigner coming out. You know, good stretch for him.
Yes. Yeah, probably a little bit further out than he wanted to be in terms of his shooting comfort zone, but he did hit the corner three in that first half, and he's been a force defensively too. Block, changed a couple of shots inside. Wang for Hughes. Fakes it. Tries the other side. Over to Eichhorst. Eichhorst into Sangi. Sangi turns. thought about going back. Now goes diagonal for Muncie Buckley. He fakes it. 15 on the shot clock now. Wang tries the middle. Muncie Buckley, he gets a good look at the three. No good. Off the front rim. Rebound, Wang. And that's his game. He's a hustle player. Back, swung around. Hughes, he thought about a three instead. He'll reset. Tries middle to Wang. He goes left. Nothing there. Tries the right. Runs into trouble. Good defense that time there from Kwantlen Park. Three ball. Rolls around. No good. Rejected by Twang as Wang, and ball knocked out of bounds, and it will stay. It will stay with the Storm, and the infamous Wire got away with one on that one.
2 good offensive rebounds from Alex Wang.
Yep. Hughes now. He'll try the right side. Runs into trouble. Kicks it to Eichhorst. Muncie Buckley. A little more open than I think he thought he'd be. Wang drives, pull up. That's his shot. No good. Bounces around. Rebound controlled by Kwantlen Park. And back comes Preddy.
You can see the difference in Southridge with Matt Randall out. You know that they seem to get a little bit more individual.
Yeah.
A little bit more unstructured.
Hannibal Rita with a nice little right-handed floater there, lead back down to 12. Big stretch here, 3 minutes. I'm sure Kwantlen Park would love to get this back to single digits, and Southridge, on the other hand, would love to push it up to around 18 or 20. So it's a big stretch here. We'll see how it goes. Hughes at the top now, working against Anderson. Tries the right, goes in strong, and tied up, called for the travel. Good defense again from number 6. That is Art Joseph Liego stepping in and making the play on defense. Eichhorst checks out. Strong stint for him. High post entry to Trong. Ooh, boy, they had the low entry. Instead, the three on the way from Reddy. No good. Put back by Trong, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. So
he's back in after, sitting quite a while.
Graham Block on the bench for the Storm, and that's certainly, without a rim protector there, Southridge was a lot more susceptible to those type of offensive rebounds and drives. Huang, pardon me. Calmly nails the first free throw. Second one, no good. Rebound to Muncie Buckley.
Thought about it.
Comes out with the right hand. He'll slow down. Hughes gives it to him. Sangy's down low. Back to Muncie Buckley. Back to Hughes. Gene Chen seeing his first action for the Storm. Wang runs into trouble. He brings it all the way back out top in a reset with 10 on the shot clock. Working against Anderson. Nice screen from Chen. Skipped. Hughes puts it on the deck. Runs out of room. Muncie Buckley now. He thought about a three. Gets it up. Got it. Boy, it wasn't an oil painting, but they'll take it.
You know, that extra pass from Harrison, he had something himself.
Anderson skips to Rita. Back to Anderson. Puts it on the deck. Swung back around. Liego almost lost it, and then it's ripped away by Gene Chen.
Making his first appearance.
Yeah. Another guy who I know Coach Anderson speaks very highly in terms of his basketball IQ and what he brings to this team. Harrison Hughes will check out. 2 minutes left in the third. The extended rest, as they say. I'm sure he's hoping to put him back in to start the fourth. Anderson now. Left hand brings it back around. 7 on the shot clock. Swings it over. 3 on the shot clock. I'm not sure if Kwantlen Park knows this. Rieger up. Didn't get it off. And they do blow the whistle it down. So shot clock violation. Good defensive trip. I'm not sure if the Kwantlen Park perimeter players knew that the shot clock was at 6 as Parmar checks back in, replacing Liego.
Mentioned we've got our student scorekeepers. You know, a lot of the games, Mr. Krenzer, you're going to have your team doing.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the senior boys going to pitch in their own time.
One of the mantras on our team, education through observation. Seeing the game from there is learn a lot of stuff just about time management and game management.
You can see 3 players over there right now.
Anderson now. We've got the 2 bigs in there together for the first time since the beginning of the game for Kwantlen Park. So we'll see if they look to go back to that high-low. Parmar jumper got it. Boy, he certainly has not lacked a finish today, but just seems like he's lacked a few touches.
I feel like he's just 2 quarters. He was a ghost.
Randall, beautiful pass to Sangy up strong. Got it. Very nice feed from Matt Randall. Generally considered to have the best vision on this Southridge team. Ball swung to Parmar. Parmar in the high post. Swung back out to Anderson. He goes by Randall, drives, puts it up. Little pass to Huang. Now it's Reedy. Gets it tipped away from him by Wang. Steal, left hand, got it. Big bucket there as the Storm doing what Coach Anderson loves. They are closing quarters strong as the lead is back up to 15. Past the corner, Parmar, high entry. Up off the window, doesn't get the roll. Huang can't get it, but it's off Gene Chen and out of bounds. And you had mentioned that high-low game before. I mean, if they're going to go to it, this is the unit to do it with.
Yep, the small lineup for Southridge.
Huang and Wiegner in and block out. Nowhere to go for Parmar. He's getting awfully close and has to turn it over as Muncie Buckley with the steal. 17 seconds left, and the Storm, Randall picks it up and can work for the last shot. 15-point lead, the largest the Storm has had in this game, and they're trying to extend it here on this possession. Randall tries the right side, swings it to Muncie Buckley, squares up, wants three, no good, short. Rebound, tossed the length of the floor, and no good. So after three, the Storm have extended their lead, 54-39. Impressions so far, Gord?
You know, a solid quarter from Southridge. You know, they sort of let Kwantlen Park hang around in the first half, and then they just kind of eased their way out. You know, Matt Randall stands out for me, especially in that third quarter. Every pass he makes is crisp, purposeful. I'm right in the hands.
First game here, the KFace Invitational, KFace Classic, boys and girls, senior boys and senior girls, hosted by Southridge School in beautiful South Surrey, British Columbia. Host Storm in game one are leading the visiting Kwantlen Park. DW Poppy and Canby are the next game here in the tournament. Winner of this will take on the winner of that game tomorrow at 2:15 in one of the tournament's two semifinals. Just before that game, the senior girls will open their tournament against defending KFace champs Sullivan Heights. So an all-Surrey matchup should be a good one again. The feature game today with the student body in attendance, the senior boys. The crowd has been very good. Not many empty seats here, if any at all. And tomorrow will feature the senior girls in their feature game. Abraham to Aujla, gets it to Hughes. Aujla swings it back to Hughes now. Pass to Abraham, drives, lost it, might have got fouled on that, but no call.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
Hurt, sound like it.
Turnover goes back to Isaiah Anderson. High post entry, Wiegner doesn't square up, now he does. Puts it on the deck right, runs out of room, gives it to Parmar. Working against Aujla, instead tries to go high-low, bounces into the hands of Reedy, but loses the ball, and it goes back to, Reedy, it goes back to the Storm. Ball tipped, Parmar with the steal, 2-on-1, gives it up to Anderson, walks in, gets the lay-in. First blood here in the fourth, drawn by Kwantlen Park.
It's hanging around.
Yep, pesky team. And that's an element we haven't seen, is a little bit more aggressive on defense, forcing turnovers. Abraham's shot well short, rebounded by Wiegner.
Just out of sync.
Yeah. Rita now to Anderson. Into the high post for Wiegner. Turns and squares. Puts on the right. No good. Now gives it to Huang. There's a little baby hook. No good, but the rebound controlled by Wiegner. Gets to Parmar. Tries the baseline. Tough shot. No good. Rims out. Rebound by Abraham. Leaks it out to Hughes. So fast on the break. Harrison Hughes. Just any chance he gets to leak out on a turnover or defensive rebound, he's just so quick. He seems to be getting behind this Kwantlen Park team at will. Nice find there from Armand Abraham. There's a three ball on the way, and that one's well long. Kept alive, but nice play from Aujla to anticipate that and take away the angle. Now he goes to his right, slows down. Abraham steps into a three. Oh. Well short, rebound controlled by Kwantlen Park.
You feel for Abe right now.
You feel like he is chasing it a little, right? Again, we talked about it. You're playing in front of the student body. You're in your grade 12 year. It's the last one of these he's going to get. You know, he wants to do something. He's a fabulous player, so you don't blame him. Randall now, he thought about a three instead. Looks at Aujla, swings it over. Harrison tries to sneak behind, doesn't get there. Abraham drives now, kicks it to Hughes.
Nice
Good
play.
look at a three. Got it.
I mean, that's what you want to see from Abe.
That is a grade 12 decision right there. It could have been very easy for him to try to force something up in there, but he made the correct play, and Harrison Hughes hits the open three, leads up to 18 now, the largest it's been. Anderson right back, no good. Rebound, Auschel in the corner. Harrison again tries to leak out. Oh, tough pass stolen by Parmar. Good look at the three, no good. So no damage done.
Bit of desperation from Kwantlen Park now.
Trying to make something happen here with 7 left. Randall floater, got it.
Lovely.
Yeah, soft finish, 20-point lead. The largest of the game, 61-41. And we alluded to this early on. Kwantlen Park, they just look a little gassed.
Yeah.
Rita. That one turned over, and Hughes now the other way. Gathering speed, goes right at Anderson. Anderson is a nice play to block it from behind, but Randall trailing the play keeps it alive. Abraham lost it, but fouled on the way in. And
I like to see that, though. He's taken it strong twice in a row now.
Muncie Buckley in and Abraham out. Timeout called by Coach Anderson.
You see the difference between the players that have been in for 20 minutes. Kwantlen Park, they have a lot of guys either the whole game or high 30s.
Anderson is slowly making his way to the bench. He's got his hands above his head. He's worked very, very hard in this game, but the depth of the storm have been too much for this Kwantlen Park team.
This is a point in the game now where Coach Anderson can maybe start, changing the roster a bit, but also looking to work on a couple of things specifically.
I think so. And you get a look at some guys you don't always necessarily see. This Kwantlen Park team, they are scrappy. They are comfortable in their defense, so you're going to get to see what your guys can do against a pretty accomplished 2-3 zone. At the same time, they shoot a lot of threes. 6 minutes left. You don't want cocktail hour to start too early.
I know the story from San Diego. The boys are at a college game.
Yeah.
Saw the greatest comeback in college
UCLA
history.
and Oregon, yeah.
What would you do? You're a Kwantlen Park coach, and obviously Coach Helps doesn't probably have his full squad here today. Some different things going on with the team, but in terms of on the court, any adjustments?
Well, he knows his guys, right? And I know that you had mentioned this is a 3-game tournament, three games in 3 days, and I think he's liking seeing his guys compete. Nice pass to block and the power finish on the end line play. There's a free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound kept alive by Muncie Buckley, and it's Auschler that handles it up the floor now. Long leak out pass, picked off. Little ambitious there from Amran Auschler, and back comes Anderson. Harrison Hughes gets called for the foul.
Yeah, a couple errant passes from Amran in the last minute or so. Maybe at this stage in the game, they can keep the ball, work the clock a little bit.
Alex Wang back into the game, replacing Matt Randall, and Auschler stays in. I wonder if you'll see the last little stretch. I would imagine you'll probably see the seniors in their last KFace. Muncie Buckley gets whistled for the foul there, a little bit too ambitious.
How big has Graham Block been? Just overall, not just in today's game, but coming back to the squad.
Massive. I mean, anyone who follows this team knows he had a very horrific broken ankle injury at a key point in their season last year that was as mentally devastating as it was physically devastating for him. And I mean, you knew what kind of guy Graham Block was with the way he finished that season on the bench and as a contributor with his voice and his mind, not just his body, as he blocks that shot on cue. Hughes, I think he wanted to try something there, lost the ball. But not just to come back from the injury, but to come back and play as well and as confident and as hard and not be tentative as he has. I think with his size and his touch, he's been a huge part of this team. I watched them earlier in the season play St. Pat's at the St. Pat's tournament in front of their student body. And that gym was packed, and that was when St. Pat's was ranked 3rd or 4th in the province. And Graham Block put the team on his back in that game. He absolutely did. He just dominated inside. He was just so poised. And they're going to need him down the stretch as they look to make a run at provincials. Second free throw for Anderson is good.
And I saw the second half of that game, and what a difference from the first half. But again, the Storm kind of weathered that.
Yeah.
And then just some key baskets down the stretch.
It was we in the English department call that a paradox when the storm weathers the storm. Anderson, pull up three, short, and those are the legs. He's got to be tired here chasing Hughes and Randall around all game and trying to hit deep threes. Block inside. Beautiful pass to Muncie Buckley. And they are certainly finding their form now as Muncie. But you had mentioned the chemistry of these grade 11s, who many of them stayed down last year, and that's where plays like that come from. Muncie Buckley's timing on that pass perfect, blocked, pass perfect, easy layup. Here's another drive. Another rejection by Block, and I actually think that was off of the Kwantlen Park player.
I saw that too, the second hand. But, you know, it's not just on the basketball team, but their friends off the court, they're hanging out during the day.
Yeah. Surprised Block didn't ask for that one, but good guy, respectful, not trying to show up the officials. Jumper, no good. Rebound tapped around and saved by Block. Muncie Buckley now, he gathers speed. He's got Hughes with him. Drives up, left hand.
He tiptoed
through the tulips. A little bit too fast for that left hand of Muncie Buckley's. High post entry. Wigner back to Anderson, working against Wang now. High post entry. Jumper, nope. Fake shot that time by Tung. Hughes back the other way. Just over 4 minutes left. Hughes drives, tough shot, no good, but he is fouled and will go to the line and shoot two. So he's the other thing about Harrison. He's just so deceptive and tight. Like you think he's going to give it up, or you think he's going to pull up, and next thing you know, he's got the ball cradled like a football player, and he's 2 feet behind you.
People, joke about being deceptively slow, but that's not Harrison.
No. He changes speeds about as good as anybody in BC. First free throw, no good. Second free throw is short, so 0 for 2 for Harrison Hughes.
Yeah, just a little casual. The stage in the game, you can understand it.
Well, Coach Helps and his team are staying true to their style as they're still playing a relatively slow pace on offense here, trailing by 22 now with 4 minutes left. So Dollywall back in the game. He handles the ball in the wing, swings it over to Muncie Buckley. Good look at the three.
Confident shot.
No good. Rebound controlled by Kwantlen Park, and it will be number 11, Hannibal Rita. Another great name on this Kwantlen Park team. 2 members of the all-name team. And
with
Isaiah Anderson and Hannibal Rita. There is Prasad Anderson. That's a better look than he's had. Got it. So he knocks down the three. And
his agent Sparrow?
Hughes now bounce pass to Dollywall. Swings it back to Hughes. Tip, steal from Anderson. All the way in. Got it.
We just haven't seen that from Isaiah Anderson enough today.
Yeah. Jaden Leach getting set to check in. And, I played quite a bit in the summer with these guys as Muncie Buckley misses the three. And one of the guys who I think, if I were ever coaching this team, one of the guys who would be one of my favorite guys on this team is Jaden Leach, who's about to check in. He works as hard on the defensive side of the ball as anybody I've ever seen. And he, as we talked about before, as a multi-sport, a high-level lacrosse player, just drafted recently actually as a professional lacrosse player.
Yeah.
He takes so many of those skills and brings them into this team.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, also Team BC rugby player.
I'm sure,
this past summer. He played soccer this year, and that's, certainly well down the list of his sports. But just his industry, his fitness, team first, just was a huge factor.
Yeah. He's on the right side of the offense now. Takes the swing pass from Wang. High post to Dollywall. Dollywall gets it ripped out of his hands, and back comes Kwantlen Park. Anderson now. Comes off the high screen. Nothing there. now takes a deep, deep three. That one had no chance. And boy, if you were to put together some film for Isaiah Anderson on the ones he's hit and the ones he's missed, I think you'd see a real similarity in how open he was, how in rhythm he was, how many passes the offense had made. Block back into the game for Southridge. High post entry. Gene Chen thought about it, kicks it around to Muncie Buckley now. For Leach to Wang. Drives, jumper.
Very
got
nice.
it.
Very nice.
That is his spot for sure.
There's a guy that hasn't slowed down.
Yeah. We talk about changing speeds. Harrison Hughes does as good as anybody. Alex Wang doesn't. He has one speed. And it is
I was thinking the
top
exact
speed
same thing.
all the time. In fact, when we can talk about playing in the summer, he hits that padding on that back wall so much that I think we should actually paint a picture of him on there when he graduates, with his face all smushed up against it, where he always seems to hit when he drives the lane. Oh, bounce pass. I think that was tipped by Anderson. Might not have been, and thought it might have been, but they say out of bounds as Dollywall checks back into the game, as does Matt Randall. Randall's going to replace Alex Wang. And I think this is the opposite of what I said before, in that I think Anderson's getting a good look at his players for next year out on this stage. The ones he doesn't see a ton of. Prasad trapped in the corner nicely. Dribbles out of it and goes up with that 10, no good. And, you know, that's a veteran official there, I think, not making that call.
Yeah.
Muncie Buckley for three, got it. Good look, knocks it down.
You know, the difference between him physically and just maturity over the last year is remarkable.
Well, of course, the last of a great line of Muncie Buckleys in this school. The third Muncie Buckley, third and final Muncie Buckley, the two older siblings, both sisters, both played in our program, both standouts in our program.
Yeah.
Morgan, of course, and standouts in the soccer program.
Brand wearing Wayne Mackey's old number 11.
The junior school contingent starts to make their way out of the gym and back to their classes. Rita swings it. Nice pass attempt inside. No good. Picked off by Muncie Buckley. And he starts to break the other way. Long leak out past the Leach. Up strong. No good.
Gets
it
rebound.
Back to Dollywall. Dollywall bounce pass into the hands of Leach. Wang keeps it. Drives left. Pull up from the elbow again. Got it.
Thought about driving. Just pulled up.
72-50, 22-point Storm lead as they've taken control of this game, as you had mentioned, late in the third and here in the fourth. Tough shot inside, no good. 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So this will essentially be two more possessions. The Storm have done their job. They've stayed with what they were doing offensively, relied on some hot shooting as the ball's tipped away, tied up. And the jump ball will go back to Kwantlen Park. So they can hold for the last shot if they like or try to get something quick. Storm move on. They'll play at 2:15 tomorrow in the first of two semifinal matchups here on the boys' side of the draw. Rita, long three, no good. Rebound control by Muncie Buckley. He will have to cross the timeline to avoid the 10-second call, but then they'll run it out. So this will be your final. 72-50. Southridge Storm over the Kwantlen Park. I actually don't even know what the Kwantlen Park team are called. Over Kwantlen Park. And closer than probably Coach Anderson thought it would be for almost three quarters, but the Storm pulled away in the end. How'd they do it?
I think, you know, the variety of players they were able to get scoring. Certainly Harrison Hughes is a consistent standout, but you think about when they made changes and brought people in, it accomplished what they wanted.
Yep.
A lift, gave players a rest. And I think the quality of their shots, you know, Kwantlen Park, as the game went on, more and more early threes from deep, no people rebounding.
Yep.
And whereas, you know, Southridge kept getting those inside shots, and really working the ball around well.
For sure. Well, thanks for joining us here on SportsCanada.TV. I'm Paul Curenza here alongside Gordon Smith. Stay with us. We'll be back with broadcasts tomorrow, 12:30 the senior girls, 2:15 the senior boys. Thank you and have a great day.